Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over some cars that you've probably forgotten about in Greenville that are actually pretty cool. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so our first car is the 2007 Falcon Prime Police Interceptor. But as you can probably see, this is no normal police interceptor. It's actually got this interesting half and half livery of a taxi and a police car. This isn't even a limited, you can buy this in the dealership right now. Alright, so our next car is the 2009 Viking Compact, and I believe it's the Volvo C40 in real life. I could be wrong, but yeah. This is basically a compact Volvo and I just don't see this anywhere. But it actually does look kind of cool. It's got these like ground effects down here. It's also got a little wing on the back. I guess these taillights could be controversial because they are quite interesting. I personally like them though. I do like the way this car looks. I did put some custom rims on it, custom plates and that sort of thing, but yeah, this thing is pretty sick. It's no performance car or anything, it's just average hatchback, but it does have manual mode, so you can drive this thing as a stick shift. Alright, so our next car is the 1971 Stuttgart Uhlenhaut. So this is basically a classic Mercedes sedan, and it's actually not too outdated. As you can see, the quality of the modeling is pretty good. This thing is pretty sick. Let's listen to that. Sounds pretty good. It's also got decent lighting, as you can see, not super outdated or anything. Here's the reverse lights. So yeah, if you really care about lighting, this thing isn't outdated. It does lack high beams. I'd say it's pretty forgotten. I haven't seen many of these. It is actually quite cheap. It's around 15 grand. So, alright guys, so our next car that you probably forgot about is the 2006 Overland Buckaroo. Now this car is rather outdated in terms of lighting and modeling, but there's actually one really cool feature that this thing has. This is the only Jeep where you can actually take off the roof and drive without a roof. And there's no other Jeep in game that has this feature. Although it is quite outdated, as you can see in the lighting. If I turn on the headlights, yeah, this is not anywhere near what Greenville does now. But if you're willing to look past that, I would say this thing is pretty good, and you should definitely grab yourself one of these. Alright, so our next car is the 2013 Marlin Motors Swan, aka the Aston Martin Signet. So you've probably never heard of this thing because it wasn't really meant to be heard of. This was just a small car Aston made, or more rebadged, from a Scion just to pass emissions regulations. And yeah, this thing is super uncommon. I'm actually really surprised this thing's in Greenville. Pretty strange car. This isn't even fictional, this is actually real. It does not have any performance though whatsoever. This thing has a 1.3 liter engine and a CVT. Not fun to drive, but it's cool because this thing is literally so weird. Nobody knows about this, and yeah, that's kind of what makes it cool, I would say. And Greenville did release like a V8 version of this, I believe, as a limited. I wonder who has that. If you do, congratulations, you're really cool. But yeah, you can buy this thing right now. It's not a limited. This is literally in game. You can go in dealer, search up Marlin Motor Swan, and it'll be right there. And you can get yourself one of these. But it's like 40 grand. Very overpriced. Yeah, it depends. If you got some money, honestly, I just buy one of these because it's super weird and funny and goofy. But yeah, it's up to you, and let's move on. Alright, so our last car is the 1989 Chrysler Empire. So this thing is pretty interesting. It's super boxy, but what makes it interesting is this little leather part, as you can see over here. This is on the Landau trim of this car, aka the top spec, and yeah, pretty interesting. And also it does have pop-up headlights. Unlike being on top of the hood, they're actually just facing forward. When you turn your lights on, they just move out of the way. This thing also has high beams and just fully updated lighting for the most part. So yeah, pretty good car. Very unique. So, and there's a good chance you probably forgot this thing existed. So that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.